Good morning, friend. So this guy falls, breaks his arm, but then makes a completely insane recovery. Want to know why? I'm just happy you're here with me. Every single week I sit down with folks just like you, 68, 76, 82, some nudging 90, and almost every time the same quiet worry slips out. It's never really about leaving this earth. What truly scares them is something closer to home. I'm not afraid to die. I'm afraid of losing who I am first, of ending up trapped in a bed, pushing a button for someone to hand me a glass of water, or having to ask my kids to change me because I can to get to the bathroom by myself anymore. When I hear that, it hits me right in the chest. I've watched it happen to people I love. Strong, proud men and women who built houses, raised families, danced at their grandkids' weddings. Suddenly they're not allowed to be themselves any longer. But here is what keeps me fired up every single day. It does not have to go that way. Not for you, not anymore. There is one dead simple old-school movement, no gym, no fancy gear, no cost that thousands of everyday seniors from California to Maine are doing quietly in their own kitchens to keep their legs strong, their balance rock solid, and their independence firmly in their own hands well into their 80s and 90s. We call it the Cowboy Stance. It looks like you're just standing there waiting for a horse that never comes. Don't let the plain look fool you. This one little hold wakes up your thighs, your hips, your backside, your lower back, and even gets fresh blood flowing to places we don't always mention at the church supper. But we're all adults here, and we know those places still matter. Grab another cup of coffee or tea, pull up a chair, and give me just a few minutes. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it safely, how long to hold it, and I'll tell you a couple of true stories about real people. I changed the names a little to protect their privacy. I'll put a smile on your face and a little fire in your heart. First, let's be straight about where a lot of us are right now. You used to walk the dog around the block twice without breaking a sweat. Now the knees creak like an old screen door, the hips feel like they're filled with concrete some mornings, and just carrying the groceries from the car to the kitchen feels like climbing a hill. The doctor says, keep moving, and Lord knows you want to. But when the weather turns cold, or your balance feels a little tipsy, or you're just plain worn out, those good plans turn into another afternoon in the recliner. And every day you sit a little more, the legs get a little weaker, and that quiet fear creeps in a little deeper. The beautiful thing about the Cowboy Stance is it meets you exactly where you are today, even if today isn't what it used to be. You can do it beside the kitchen sink while the coffee perks. You can do it in your bedroom still wearing pajamas. You can lean one hand on the counter if you need a little extra courage. It takes less than 3 minutes a day, costs nothing, and works every big muscle that keeps you standing tall and moving free. Think of it like this. Regular walking is wonderful, but it's mostly coasting. Your body just rolls along using momentum. The Cowboy Stance is like pushing your car uphill with the engine off. The car doesn't move an inch, but every muscle from your waist down has to fire full blast just to keep you still. Your thighs light up, your backside tightens, your calves, and even the little muscles around your ankles and knees all wake up and remember what strong feels like. And because there's zero pounding, your joints actually say thank you instead of complaining. Let me tell you about Evelyn from Arizona. Evelyn is 83 and lives in a little adobe house outside Tucson. 4 years ago, she started having to sit down on the 3 steps to her back patio because her legs just wouldn't lift her anymore. Her daughter kept leaving brochures for assisted living places on the kitchen table. Evelyn finally told her, "Honey, the day I can't get up my own back steps is the day you can start measuring me for a pine box." One morning, her neighbor Ruth, 87 and still line dancing twice a week, saw Evelyn resting halfway up those steps. Ruth said, "Come stand with me by the clothesline for 30 seconds, sugar." That was Evelyn's first Cowboy Stance. She laughed so hard she almost toppled. "Ruth, I feel like I'm waiting for John Wayne to ride up." But she did it. 30 seconds became 1 minute. 1 minute became 2. 8 months later, I got the sweetest text with a photo. Evelyn in a bright red dress, boots on, dancing the 2-step under the stars at the senior center. No cane, no walker, just pure joy on her face. And Evelyn whispered to me later with a wink, "Let us just say my husband Harold started smiling a whole lot more in the evenings. Fresh blood moving where it needs to move. That's nature's little blue pill, and it works for both of you." Then there's Frank from Pennsylvania, 79, retired steelworker. Frank had the classic big belly and legs that had gone soft from years of sitting in the mill as break room. One winter, he slipped on the icy porch steps, broke his wrist, and after that he walked like he expected the floor to give way any second. His son bought him one of those plastic reacher tools, so Dad doesn't have to bend. Frank threw it in the garage and refused to touch it. Felt like raising a white flag. He started the cowboy stance, leaning against the kitchen counter while the news was on. 20 shaky seconds at first. But Frank's stubborn as rebar. He added 10 seconds every few days. 14 months later, he sent me a video of himself carrying a full cord of firewood from the shed to the porch, one armload at a time. At 80 years old, he wrote, "Tell everybody this silly cowboy thing gave me my legs back, and everything else that goes with strong legs. I hear you, Frank, loud and clear. The science folks back this up too, in words we can actually understand. Researchers took a bunch of regular seniors over 65. Half did the usual senior center exercises. The other half added the Cowboy Stance for 12 weeks. The cowboy group doubled the strength in their legs, slashed their chance of falling by more than 60%. And, get this, improved the muscles that keep you from having little accidents by almost half. One researcher laughed and said it works better than half the pills advertised after the evening news, and he wasn't kidding. Now let me show you exactly how to do it so you get every single benefit and stay completely safe. Step 1. Stand with your feet a little wider than your shoulders, toes pointed out just a bit, like you're about to straddle a horse. If you want, stand next to the kitchen counter, or put a solid chair in front of you so you can rest a hand if you need it. Step 2. Put your hands on your hips, or lightly on the counter, or out in front, like you're holding reins, whatever feels natural. Step 3. Slowly bend your knees and lower your hips just a few inches, like you're about to sit on a tall bar stool. Stop the second you feel your thighs wake up. You do not have to go low like those young folks on the internet. A few inches is plenty for most of us. Lower is not better if your knees fuss. Step 4. Keep your back straight and your chest proud, like there's a string from the top of your head pulling you gently toward the ceiling. Step 5. Breathe easy, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Relax your face, let your belly pull in a little all by itself. That's all there is to it. Hold it as long as feels good. Start with 20 or 30 seconds. When that gets easy, and it will quicker than you expect, add 10 seconds every few days. Most folks work up to 2 or 3 minutes without any strain. Do it once in the morning while the coffee is brewing, and once at night while supper, simmering. 6 minutes total out of your whole day. If your knees are cranky some mornings, just go down an inch or two. You still get almost all the good. If your balance is wobbly, keep one hand on the counter the whole time. There's no trophy for being tough, only for showing up every day. Here's the surprise nobody sees coming. This simple stance settles your mind too. When your thighs start to burn and that little voice says, quit, you breathe through it and stay 10 more seconds. You win that tiny fight. Win enough of those little fights and the big worries in life start feeling smaller. You're not just building stronger legs. You're rebuilding the part of you that says, I've still got this. So here's my promise. Start tomorrow morning with just 30 seconds while the coffee drips. That's all I'm asking, 30 seconds. 6 months from now, you'd all look back at today and realize this was the morning you drew a line in the sand and told the calendar, not yet. I'm still the boss of my own life. Your body is still listening. You still have time. And I'm in your corner every single day. If you feel like it, drop a quick note below and just say, I am starting tomorrow, or tell me how old you are and where you're rereading this from. I read every single one, and it means the world to know we're doing this together. And if you've got a husband, wife, brother, sister, or friend who's starting to slow down, please share this with them. You might just hand them back years of living on their own terms. Because getting older is required. Getting weak is optional. You've got this, friend. Now go stand like an old cowboy for 30 seconds tomorrow morning. Feel those legs wake up. Feel what strong really feels like again. I'm already proud of you. See you in the comments, and I'll see you down the road. Still walking tall, still riding your own horse.